Hey everybody, it is Tuesday and it's 2 o'clock, so that means it is time for Top 5 Tuesday. I am your host from Crate Insider. I'm Kate Dillon. I'm super happy to be here this week, and I want to thank you for being here as well. So whether you're watching live or if you're checking out the replay, either way, super happy to have you here. And let me say hi to some folks here. I see we've got a few people on. Oh, and in case you're new to Top 5 Tuesday, I always do a giveaway every week when we do this live. So one of those giveaways today is we just do a random. I mean, like based on comments, and all you need to do to enter our drawing is just make a comment. So you can say hi, you can leave emoticon, you can drop in a question. I love seeing questions and I try to answer them as best I can. And what we're giving away this week is we just got a shipment of Crate Insider t-shirts. So I have sizes all the way from small to 4X. So all the way across the board, we have Crate Insider t-shirts in whatever size you would like. So drop that into the comments and then you'll get a chance to win a shirt. At the end of this, towards the end, we'll use random number generator, bring up a random number, and be able to give that away. So we also do a second drawing each week, and that is if you remember what my sign said last week, then drop that in as a comment, and then actually your comment counts for both. It counts for just leaving a comment, and it counts for, we do a separate drawing just for the folks who know what my sign had to say last week. So go ahead and drop that in. I'm going to say hi to some folks here. I see Dustin and Lucas and Jim. You guys are here. Mikey just won his first race. So Mikey, congratulations on that. Really glad, really happy for you. And it was really cool to get that text message from you. So thanks for letting me know about that. And I see some folks already know my sign. And Derek and Chelsea, Rusty, so many familiar faces are here. So thank you so much for joining. Well, each week I do try to talk about some kind of a featured product. And this week, rather than being an exact product, I have something a little bit different because despite the fact that I sell race car parts, and of course that's what I do here at Crate Insider, but I also do share information about marketing and about how to get sponsors. And so what I've done is I've put together a resource guide that pulls together some of my resources that I share, that different areas where I share those resources. So you can check that out. You can download it for yourself. And we're going to drop a link in here and you just click that link. Otherwise it's CateDillon.com/5-resources, and it's 5 resources that you can check out that can help with your marketing. And because marketing and sponsorship, they are 2 separate things, but they are certainly related, because you're not going to get sponsors if you can't market yourself. And because if you can't market yourself, how would anyone expect that you could market anything for them? So I really do try to take people upon that path or along that path to teach them how to market themselves, how to become sponsorable, and then move on to that next step. So hopefully these resources at least get you going in the right direction. Go ahead and sign up for that. And then you'll be put on my email list, and as I release new things, then you'll get first access to some of those things that I release when I talk about sponsorship. So with that, let's go ahead and jump in to our top 5 products of the week here. So in the number 5 spot, okay, I was only half prepared. We're gonna have to go to the shelf because I know doesn't everybody have like a fire bottle sitting on their top shelf? Okay, maybe we'll just point to it. No, we're not going to point to it. We're going to grab it. So this is, in the number 5 spot this week, is our fire bottle. Whoops. And there we go. Woo. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, you never you never know what's going to happen on a live video. But this is our fire bottle system. This is the fire bottle AMRC 1002 in the number 5 spot. And this one happens to be my favorite fire suppression system that I sell, because it offers both a manual as well as an automatic mechanisms on this system. So how this works, when I talk about an automatic, what that means is if you are upside down, on fire, unconscious, all of that, and it gets hot enough, if it hits 170 degrees, then you can see that there's a little piece of glass in here. I'm trying to get it to focus. There we go. And at 170 degrees, this glass will break automatically and it will set off the system. And so with this particular system, the AMRC 1002, it has 2 automatic nozzles. So a lot of times, most of the time, one of these goes at the fuel cell and one of them goes in the cockpit. And I'm a big advocate for fire safety, you guys, because it is really the biggest risk you guys take when you strap yourselves into a race car. And especially since most of the race cars, in fact, I don't know of anybody that can have rear view mirrors, so you don't even know if your fuel cell is on fire. So, and you don't have two-way radios, so, you know, it's a tough deal. So really, guys, protect yourselves. And the Fire Bottle system, we've got a few different other systems from Fire Bottle. This one happens to be my favorite, the AMRC 1002. It also has where you can connect a pull cable as well, and so that would make it manual, so you could just go ahead and pull that cable. That would set off the system. So if you see like your engine compartment's on fire, you can go ahead and pull that cable, release the system, and get it going. And for pricing, this one runs $794.32, and then I do a flat fee. This goes out hazard, so hazard shipping, if you're not familiar with that. So I do a flat $55 for the hazard shipping to cover that. And so that is in the number 5 spot. In the number 4 spot this week is fun. We have already seen it actually once, and that is our Crate Insider t-shirts. You know, I guess some people saw that we had them back in the store and started picking them up, and they run from $20 to $22 depending upon the sizing, but we do include free shipping with that. So you can just go ahead and pick that up, and that is our Crate Insider t-shirt in the number 4 spot. All right, next up in the number 3 spot this week is from our friends over at KRC Power Steering. So I was like, I do like to show things when they come packaged nicely. I do like to show them. So here's how the KRC, this is a front drive kit, is what we're going to find in the box here. Oh, I was like, oh my God, I don't think there's tape on it. But here we go. And it's just so packaged so nicely. Well, there went that. But this is the whole front drive. So you've got the crank to water pump pulley system here. And they redesigned this, or they took the regular design and they modified it. So as you can see now, see how there's holes cut in the flange? That is to bring it to make it lighter weight. So that's pretty cool that it's super lightweight, and it comes with, somebody actually asked me this the other day, so I'm really glad that I'm doing this on Top 5 Tuesday, but we have a kit that includes all of the complete hardware to go with this. We have you saw the 2 pulley parts, and then we even have this nut right here, and it doesn't just come with one belt, it comes with a spare belt as well. So you're really set up to get started with it, and also for maintaining it. So that's our KRC front drive. We call it the 6-rib system, and this runs $203.67. So incredibly nice system, great price point on that, I think, anyway. And that is our 16225604 would be the part number on that. But wherever you're watching this, there will also be a link, so you can just click on over, and we'll have it in the comments here on Facebook. If you're watching this later on YouTube, it'll be into the comment section, or you may be seeing this because we sent you an email. So if you're not on our email list, we should get that going too. All right, lots of things. All right, next up in the number 2 spot, this was a product that we featured last week on the show and talked about a little bit, and that is our LSM Racing Products valve spring changer. So love the valve spring changer. It's still continues to be our most popular YouTube video, but this is that 6061 T6 aluminum, so it's billet, it's a heavy duty anodized. I should pull up my scale. It's not handy, otherwise I'd pull it out. This has some pretty good heft to it. It's a pretty strong, you can tell how strong it is just when you hold it, and I wish you could kind of feel how heavy this is. And then the other thing, that when you buy the valve spring changer, then you have the option of adding the speed handle. And so this is what the speed handle looks like right here. It's you can see it's got a handle, and then it has a couple of holes right there. And this way it goes right on to our valve spring changer like that, and makes it super fast to be able to bring it up and down. And you can also see how heavy duty that I know this is called something, but this screw thing is really heavy duty as well. Or if you need more torque, you could go on to the end here, and then you could really be able to put some muscle behind that as well. So that is our valve spring changer and the speed handle. You kind of get a twofer when we're talking about these products, and that is in the number 2 spot. All right, that brings us to our top spot this week from our friends at, it's actually Grand Prix Engineering. Would be our race fan. So this happens to be the 17, but what's on Top 5 Tuesday this week is our 4-blade 19-inch race fan. And what I love about these and what racers love is, now it might be a little bit a higher price point because this runs $265, which, by the way, I forgot to talk about how much the valve spring changer, it runs $218.98, and then the speed handle, if you'd like to add that on or buy it separately, runs $49.99. But with our race fan, the 4-blade fan runs $265. But what's really cool is that you have interchangeable blades. So if you want to turn this from a 4-blade fan into a 2-blade fan, that's an option right there. Another option is if you wanted to go with a 3-blade fan, which is probably one of the most popular ways that it's run. I think a lot of guys buy the 4-blade fan and then they end up using the 3-blade and having a spare blade. So that's pretty cool, and you can see that just configures very quickly and easily. Well, it's not as easy when you have the hardware in it, which I don't, and this is all aircraft grade hardware, which is really, really nice and really locks it down. And one thing I love about the race fan is that on the back it even has instructions to tell you about torquing the nuts. So that's pretty cool. So that's our top spot this week, is our 4-blade 19-inch race fan, and it runs $265. All right, so with that, I'm going to take a look at some comments here and say hi to some more folks and then see if I can answer any questions here. And let's see here. There we go. And lots of thank yous, lots of comments in here. And we're also getting some, we're going to check on the numbers on our sign here, and we'll get that drawing going. Do you have a number for me? Okay, great. And I do have Alex in the studio today, and he's helping me out. And let's see here. So we're going to be swapping notes back and forth like a couple of teenagers. There we go. You do what you can. And you can see I've got this is actually my hair in a knot on the top of my head here. So let's see here. So our first winner from our sign contest, Bob Crawford. Bob, you haven't won in a while. So Bob, please send me a private message with your address, and I will get that shirt sent out to you. Make sure you tell me what size you would like. And then, oh my gosh, we have so many comments today. Let me check the other comments, and here we go. So I'm going to give this number to Alex, and he's going to find me a winner. And also I'm going to see what other questions. Let's see. Mitch asked, how much are your 602 crate motors? Depends. Depends on which style you want, whether you want it with IMCA seals or just straight from the factory. We can also do where we blueprint the top end, and if that's accepted in your series, like with Sika, Rush, or Naismith, or Durance Lane, I should say these days. Okay. Great. And Dan Klein. Dan, you are our other winner today. So Dan, please send me a message with your address and your shirt size. We'll get that going. And I'm just going to see if there's any other questions over here that I can answer. Let's see. You got, us guys don't use instruction. Yeah. That's hilarious. Brandon asks, how does the blades bolt in? That's a great question. So here are, let me go ahead and show you, do a little demo, is that it comes with, we've got a bolt right here, and then it has washers. So it actually has washers for either side. I'm just going to dump this hardware out here. Okay. So we've got a washer right here that we're going to put on there, and then we'll put another washer on the other side. So I'm just going to show you. I'll find one. Here we go. Now, sometimes it can take a bit to kind of ram these bolts in. So, oh my gosh, I got it on the first try. I made that look super easy. And then we've got another washer for this side. And then these, like I said, this is aircraft grade hardware. And so I know you're not gonna be able to see this bolt or this nut very well here, but it'll just kind of lock on here. We'll just kind of get started with it. Here we go. And no pressure. There we go. So I got it going. And it'll go to a certain point, and then of course then you need 2 wrenches, one for either side. I could probably I could grab wrenches out of my wrench box up top there. So another little product placement, I guess. And then you would just torque it down. After you get it to a certain point, then you want to get out your torque wrench and then torque it down to the 144 inch-pounds, and then it would really lock it in there and be really, really stable. But great question, because I actually never show that. I just show like taking the blades on and off. So it's the first time I've gotten a chance to check that out. Let's see, we might have a special separate guest coming on. So if you can hang on with me for just a minute here, and we have a special guest who is 1 mile away. And Alex, if you could keep an eye out and see if you can see him here, and then we'll have a special guest on the show. So I'm going to keep on answering some questions here. Lots of motivation, lots of ambition, small bank account. Well, hey, you know what? Sponsorship, if you get your marketing in order, marketing doesn't have to be expensive. It can be, a lot of marketing is free. So if that's the case, then, there's a lot. Then you can build up your bank account from there. Okay, so the blades have holes in them is what Brandon says. Yes, they do. Here we go. Yeah, the blades have holes, and then the blade holes line up with the holes on, if I maybe hold up a white piece of paper here, the blade holes, yeah, I don't know if you can see that. There we go. Yeah, you can kind of see that there's some holes there. And do we have our guest here? Okay, great. Our special guest has just arrived. So if you can hang with me just a minute, I'm going to grab a chair for him. And that way he can jump in and be our special guest. I think he's been watching. I saw he joined Top 5 Tuesday. So I think he may have been hanging out with us here for part of this time. So come on up. It's almost like Price is Right. Like instead of come on down, it's come on up.
What about this?
And here we go. So this is my friend Johnathon Masters from Race Know-How. So tell us, Johnathon, what is bringing you down to North Carolina?
We just got done doing a video shoot. It's actually why I was running a little bit today. We were up at Davis Technologies doing some traction control know-how.
Shannon, okay.
We stopped at Mike Nichols at Warrior on the way here. Did a couple of crate videos with him on adjusting rods and some spring rate stuff. The rod video went up this morning. The spring rates will be up probably sometime this weekend.
Cool. Well, for those people who haven't heard of Race Know-How, tell them a little bit about Race Know-How, and maybe Alex, if you could maybe drop a link in. It's KNOWHOW.com. We'll drop a link in here, but tell us a little bit about it.
Basically, what the site is it's a tutorial. It's an online live seminar. It's constantly evolving. We have videos 2 to 3 a week. We get the people that know, the industry insiders, the professionals, the manufacturers. They get on and they teach videos on everything from setting up your car to safety to how products work. And you go on, and there's a monthly and yearly option on membership. And from there you have free range of the entire library.
Well, I think it's really exciting because, of course, I do a lot of tech videos, but mine are pretty specific. A lot of mine are product related, and I don't touch suspension because I deal with too many types of cars. So you've really taken that suspension piece and just really run with it.
Oh yeah,
Shocks.
we've done stuff on shocks. We touched on almost every brand. We're a completely non-biased site, so we don't prefer anyone's product over the other. Everyone has an equal opinion. Everyone has a different way of doing things. We've touched many different chassis manufacturers, and some guys might go over the same thing, but they might have different ways of achieving the same goals. So just because it's the same topic and a different guy doesn't mean you're not going to get new information.
For sure. Well, and you've kind of got an in on the chassis piece, don't you?
I do. My father is Tater that owns Masters Built Race Cars, so he was kind of, he's been nice enough. He was kind of the guinea pig for some of the first videos, and whenever he has something new, I live about 100 miles from him, so he can always call me and I'll come down and do a video with him. It's kind of it's an opportune thing for me because it allows me to say, man, lots of people are asking questions on this, but I know the guy to really handle it is in Iowa. You can touch on it, and then I'll go out there and see him on my next Iowa trip. And then there's stuff that he really specializes in, and he's got a lot of customers like in Oregon and Australia, and a lot of these chassis guys and a lot of these shock manufacturers have those guys that live really far away, and they never get to see us. You know, a lot of us in the Midwest and the Southeast, we're kind of spoiled because if my shocks aren't running any good or this isn't happening right, I'll see that guy at the racetrack within the next month. Some of those guys never get to see these people, so I've had a lot of positive feedback from them.
That's great. And I know one of my friends, Dave Hammond, has been definitely been a race know-how video.
Yep, Dave's been he's been on several. He does a lot of front end stuff for us, especially on the stub cars, so the modifieds. So we're not just late models; we do modifieds and late models. So he's done a lot of that. We've had a lot of safety stuff. Everyone from Randy LaJoy to the folks up at Spa up in Indianapolis. They do. I know you were doing the fire suppression earlier. They kind of go over their fire suppression and how to mount it. I've had the suit people. We had Willie from Willie's Carburetors on. He showed the new rollover kit that keeps the fuel from flowing through the carburetor when the car's on its top. So we like to have safety stuff thrown in there with the setup stuff because we like to keep them safe along with keeping them fast.
Well, it's important because, you know, you kind of have to live another day in order to be able to race another day.
Oh,
you know?
Oh, yeah.
You can't win if you're dead.
Absolutely.
Maybe that needs to be one of my... So you're new to the show, but I change my sign every week. So this is our sign this week, but maybe it's you can't race if you're dead.
You can't race if you're dead. You can't race if you're hurt. You can't race if there's been, you know, fire damage. You know, there's a lot of that stuff that those guys kind of overlook it because no one calls and asks for a safe race car. They call and ask for a fast race car, but sometimes that goes hand in hand. But no, I mean, it's a deal to where we're never out of requests because we take requests. A lot of what we do is field on request. If a guy wants to know something, you know, they'll say, hey, I want to know this, or, you know, I want to know where to move my wheel weights around on my modified. And when we do that, we say, all right, thanks for the request, and we go find the guy to answer it.
I love that. I'm going to see if anybody has any questions. If you have any questions for Jonathan, feel free to drop them into the questions here. Oh, Mike Knuckles says, about time, John.
If everyone didn't take so dang long to film, then I'd be there quicker.
Were they getting camera shy?
No, what it is you get there, and you get there to, you know, do some filming, and, you know, we're racers. We talk. We shoot the breeze. That Davis Technologies, that place is insane with what they have there and the amount of stuff that I don't see very much. A lot of the electrical know-how. There's things there that I think would blow most of our minds in terms of what we're usually dealing with. Race car guys, especially as circle track guys, we're nuts and bolts people. We like to see stuff that can move up and down and we know what it's doing. But, you know, when it gets to that area, it's circuit boards and things on computers and things that you can't physically touch. So it was definitely a learning experience for me. So I think that contributed to my tardiness a little bit.
Oh, no worries. You still made it in time for the show. I want to say thank you so much for coming up for our guest appearance. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching, for taking a part in Top 5 Tuesday, and I will look forward to seeing you next week at Tuesday at 2 o'clock right here on our Facebook page.